she sees you. The horny feeling will start in her brain, shoot down her body, and flood her pussy with wetness whenever you walk into the room, which means all you have to do is tell her, let's go to the bedroom, and she'll happily follow you and let you have your way with her whenever and however you want. And there's nothing any other guy can do about it. Not her boyfriend, not her bitchy friends, no one. So what's the trick? I first learned about it after meeting my mentor, Dr. David Tan. He's a skinny little science geek who lives in Singapore. Once a shy US foreign exchange student who couldn't get laid to save his life, David decided enough was enough and began a worldwide search to discover the secrets of the world's top seducers. Dr. David spent 7 years flying around the globe, studying the world's most insanely successful ladies' men with harems of women, notorious pickup artists, and average guys who just happen to get laid like rock stars. He was on a mad search to find the holy grail of seduction techniques. So he researched the behaviors of these master seducers from a scientific perspective. And one day, while studying at a library in China, Dr. David stumbled upon a shocking secret in an obscure psychology journal that radically transformed his sex life. The secret is called emotional contagion, which is the backbone of Dr. David's seduction system. It nearly renders a woman powerless, and she feels like she has to fuck you. That's why Dr. David says emotional contagion lets you make any woman horny on command and compels her to hit on you first. The freaky science behind emotional contagion proves that your emotions, even your most powerful emotions like horniness, desire, and love, are actually contagious and can easily be triggered in any woman you want. You know how yawning is contagious? You may have even yawned when I showed you that picture. This technique works in the exact same way because Dr. David proved that horniness can be made just as contagious as a yawn, which means when you feel horny around a girl you're attracted to, you can transfer that feeling straight to her pussy with one trick. And women have known this for years, even if they don't know the science behind it. It's why when a panel of young women on the internet were asked, is being horny contagious? They said things like, yes, knowing he's horny makes me horny, and people can tell when I'm horny because I'm such a good girl. Another woman said, there's never really a moment when I'm not horny. And the third said, hell yes, it turns me on and I give in. Most guys find that it takes about half an hour to close the deal with a girl using Dr. David's method. So all you have to do to make her drop her panties and beg for some steamy, sweaty sex is feel horny around her. Do Dr. David's surprisingly simple technique and watch as she becomes visibly horny, rabidly turned on, and incredibly open-minded to sex. This is confirmed by the findings of renowned Harvard psychologist Daniel Goleman. He said, the fact that we can trigger any emotion at all in someone else or they in us testifies to the powerful mechanism by which one's feelings spread to another. Dr. David transformed all of Mr. Goleman's research into a brain-dead simple technique, which you'll see video footage of in just a minute. After discovering the technique, he slept with over 30 jaw-dropping women in less than 2 months. The local newspapers even wrote a story on this feat. And since then, he's been featured in dozens of media outlets, including magazines, newspapers, and TV shows. He's seduced celebrities and actresses I can't name for privacy reasons, and now he's dating a perfect 10 good girl lingerie model. Although at first, Dr. David attempted to keep a low profile, he eventually started teaching his secrets to a select few men who sought him out. And the success his students experienced was so extraordinary that he founded the world's largest men's school of romance, the Aura Academy. And up until last year, the Aura Academy was the only place on planet Earth you could learn this technique. However, today, he's finally releasing it to a small test group of men who qualify. The technique is called the Desire System. It's the only scientifically proven system to make any woman horny for you on command. That's right. It works because it uses the powerful science of emotional contagion. It compels her to chase you, so she's ready and willing to fuck within minutes, with zero risk of rejection. And while the system is grounded on years of advanced scientific research and powerful persuasion psychology, the technique itself is shockingly simple, surprisingly easy to use, and delivers mind-blowing amounts of sexual attraction to a woman by transferring your horniness straight from your dick directly to her pussy. And because the entire system is designed to be covert and under the radar, no one will ever know you're using it. The desire system is guaranteed to make any innocent interaction with a girl into a steamy, sweaty sexual encounter. It takes any woman you want from not giving a damn about you, thinking she's too good for you, or totally unaware of your existence, to feverishly horny and ready to fuck. At which point you get to decide whether you want to fuck her or not. This technique makes every pickup line, dating strategy, and every other technique you've ever heard of completely obsolete, because it's different from any system out there right now. And trust me, I tried other seduction systems before I met David, and they all claim to be so simple. Just ask a girl a few questions, stealthily seduce her while no one's looking, and hit her sexual triggers. Then she'll be all yours. These dudes always make it sound so easy, but my problem was, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I can never make any of these so-called simple systems work. I knew there was something else to it. And when I was first introduced to emotional contagion and Dr. David's desire system, the crazy thing was that it really was that simple. It had to be, so a guy like me could get away with using it. Because unlike anything else out there, it focuses 100% on her horniness, which, as you've probably figured out by now, is the key to her pussy and her heart, which means the desire system works where all else has failed. But before I get your hopes up, I do have some bad news. To learn the technique from Dr. David at the Aura Academy, it cost me $10,000 for 1 day of coaching. Over 800 men have already shelled out this fee to learn the technique from him in person. But 1 year ago, Dr. David decided to retire. For good. Although the vast majority of his students were using the technique to enhance their sex lives and the lives of women, some were using these deep psychological secrets for, well, evil, to manipulate, hurt, and torment women who have hurt them in the past. And Dr. David, a well-respected academic, refused to let his reputation be torn to shreds by a few bad apples, so he called it quits, and swore he'd never teach the technique again in person while he focused on academic research. However, today, in order to collect data for a scholarly article he's been working tirelessly on for 6 months, he's finally agreed to deliver the technique to a small test group of men digitally and reveal his entire groundbreaking system to you in 4 full HD video tutorials you can watch on your computer from the comfort of your own home. He's decided to reveal the system to 393 men who qualify. He picked this number because before he discovered these secrets, it had been exactly 1 year and 28 days since he last got laid, or 393 days. After this test release is completed and the 393rd copy is sold, this presentation will be removed, and you don't have to worry about the research. Participation is voluntary and anonymous. You can simply make comments on the forum and the Desire System website, but if you don't want to, you don't have to. Now, in just a moment, we'll determine if you qualify for this offer. Then I'm going to show you a video of this system in action, being used on an incredibly hot girl. But first, let's take a sneak peek at what's inside the Desire System. You'll discover the one controversial trick that makes a woman horny for you on command. You'll learn a sneaky, under-the-radar technique that compels a woman to make the first move on you. When you use this, she'll think sex was her idea. And because she's the one desperately trying to win you over, don't be surprised if you get hundreds of dollars worth of free dinners and drinks out of this move alone. Tommy D sent David a message about this technique saying, "Man, did this technique work good. The game is so much easier when she moves in on you first." You'll learn a secret method to win back women who have rejected you in the past. When you use this on your ex, it will instantly reignite every good feeling she previously felt towards you, while she ignores the bad and begs you to fuck her and take her back. You'll get David's sneaky but ethical method for blasting out of the friend zone and ending up in the fuck buddy zone. You'll see step by step how in less than 2 minutes you can induce a panty-moistening sexual state in any girl. Balin G wrote in about this. Now, this is the ace up my sleeve for getting her turned on sexually. It works like a charm, and the technique alone has got me over 25 lays in the past 8 months. You'll discover the dirty little secret to training women to behave how you want. Dr. David learned this from a real-life pimp. This stuff is hardcore and controversial. It puts you in control of the relationship and the bedroom because it triggers a submissive response in her brain that makes her see you as someone she looks up to. How 3 simple sentences will allow you to turn off her logical brain and turn up the heat on her sexual brain.